Our client is Obmin.Finance. Imagine a bold startup with ambitions to conquer the currency and crypto exchange market. At first, it's Ukraine and neighboring countries, and after that, the plan is to enter the global market. Hi, I'm Ivan, and for years I've been helping brands stand out with effective campaigns. I'm excited to share our story with you. By the end of this presentation, you'll see how we combine SEO strategy, creativity, and data to build a campaign. We were faced with a strategic challenge. Not just to design a website, but to develop a comprehensive digital platform. This platform needed to be resilient under heavy loads and competitive in at least 7 different markets. We brought in a range of key tools and expertise. In-depth technical analysis and design enabled us to create a reliable and scalable architecture. An SEO strategy was developed, which will allow us to compete effectively with market leaders. We also focused on content marketing, creating targeted content tailored to users' needs. All these efforts were supported by the team's high productivity and motivation, which is the key to achieving our goals. We conducted an extensive SEO analysis to identify the main competitor aggregator exchanges in Ukraine and in the CIS countries. This in-depth audit, which went far beyond simple keyword collection, included an analysis of domain metrics, traffic sources, internal and external optimization strategies, content quality, site architecture, and their unique features and highlights. The results of this comprehensive study formed the foundation for developing an effective and competitive SEO strategy. Add to this the language barriers and cultural differences. An exciting quest for analysts. Our task was to develop a high-performance solution capable of reliably processing and analyzing data for more than 28,000 currency pairs for SEO purposes, including identifying search intents, optimizing landing pages, and scaling content strategies without losing effectiveness. And that's no exaggeration. We had to think in terms of a product, not just a single website. It was a comprehensive document that covered all the critical aspects of preparing a site that didn't yet exist for its first encounter with search engines and users. Competitor analysis. Who is already at the top in the target CS country? What are their strengths and weaknesses? What site structure do they use? What kind of content do they generate? Stages of mastering the technical part. Creating a detailed technical specification and checklist for the development team. Avoiding cannibalization and duplicates. It was critically important to explain that pages like Bitcoin to Hryvnia and pages like Hryvnia to Bitcoin are different entities from the perspective of both users and search engines, and they should not compete with each other for the same queries. Configuring logic, filters, and URL generation. Canonical URLs for each language version, for a specific language and region. Optimizing loading speed, working with images, implementing the WebP format as the standard. Automatic compression without quality loss, weight limit, caching at all levels, multilingual preparation, implementation of hreflang tags, setting up automatic redirects based on geolocation, canonical URLs for each language version so that Google clearly understands which page is the main one for a specific language and region, especially when similar content is present. Automation of sitemap generation and updating. For a site with thousands of pages that are potentially being added and changed, manually managing the sitemap is a dead end. Integration with the admin panel was needed for automatic updates. Optimization of loading speed. Working with images. Implementing the WebP format as the standard. Automatic compression without quality loss. Weight limit. Caching at all levels. From caching data from the database for dynamic blocks with exchange rates to browser caching of static resources. Optimization of database queries. Other techniques. Minification of CSS and JS. Server optimization. Use of CDN. Looking ahead. Implementation of extended microdata. Schema.org. At least 10 types of markup for different entities. Organization. Company information. Website, search bar in the snippet. Breadcrumbs, FAQ page for the questions and answers section, offer or product for listing exchanges with rates and commissions, article for the blog, and other specialized markups for currency rates. This helps Google better understand the content and enhances the attractiveness of the snippet in search results. Development of a meta tag generation system, creating flexible templates for the automatic generation of unique and relevant titles and descriptions for 60+ different types of pages, including the main page, currency pair category pages, blog articles, partner pages, and more. Setting up a testing environment and quality control, ensuring the presence of a test domain as close as possible to the live one, to check all SEO settings, indexing accuracy, and to track errors, especially 404s, before the official launch. To implement our plan, we needed to analyze the market leader at that time, which was BestChange. This was necessary to adjust our intentions regarding information architecture, page types, navigation, and internal linking, and to establish these patterns into the project requirements for Obmin.Finance. The audit of BestChange's strengths and weaknesses revealed niches for quick wins. Gaps in intent, technical flaws, and content issues formed the basis on which we developed differentiators for Obmin.Finance. This reduced launch risks and shortened the time to market. We rely on proven practices, lay out a resource plan, and forecast payback according to different scenarios. Now let's talk about the details. Why was the BestChange website chosen? Of course, it's the impressive traffic, about 280,000 visits per month according to analytics at that time. However, upon closer examination, it turned out that almost 43% of this traffic came from Ukraine, the main target market for the launch of Exchange Finance. This meant that there was potential for growth. The second argument is geography. An interesting discovery was the noticeable traffic from Europe, particularly from Germany. 4,600 visits per month from Germany and 2,300 visits per month from Poland. This became a valuable insight for Exchange Finance regarding potential directions for future development. Having understood what underpins the success of BestChange and where the growth points are, we moved on to systematic work on the key areas for future promotion. One of the first and most important tasks was to develop the semantic core. Semantic core. Working with such a massive volume, 28,000 combinations of currency pairs and search queries, required a combined approach. Maximum automation of processes using specialized tools, collection, cleaning, initial clustering, plus thorough expert review and refinement, because no algorithm has yet learned to perfectly understand all the nuances of human language and intent. Query classification. Commercial. A clear intention to make an exchange. Buy Bitcoin with hryvnia, exchange privat 24 for USDT, withdraw Ethereum to a card. These are the most valuable queries for the aggregator. The second option, informational. Searching for information. What is TRC20? What is the current Ethereum to UAH rate? How to use exchangers safely. Such queries bring traffic to the blog and build expertise. The third option, analytical. Searching for the best conditions or a specific service. Where is the most profitable online currency exchange? Crypto Exchanger Ratings 2024 reviews about Obmin.Finance. How would you classify a query like TRC20 plus monobank? The user does not specify a particular currency. We developed and implemented a heuristic algorithm and logic for editors which, based on the context of TRC20, Tron Network, Monobank, a popular bank for USDT transactions, could, with high probability, determine that the query was about exchanging USDT on the TRC20 network to hryvnia via Monobank. It's almost like Sherlock Holmes in the world of SEO. To avoid showing users outdated or negative information, we implemented a blacklist mechanism for tokens and currencies. This allowed site administrators to quickly hide relevant pages or exchange directions from the monitoring results. Another issue was that the same Bitcoin could be searched for as Bitcoin, BTC, Bitcoin, BTOC, and so on. It was important to combine all these variations into a single semantic cluster and assign one target page for it. This helps to avoid internal competition between pages for the same queries, keyword cannibalization, and focuses attention on a single relevant page. The main page. Not a static showcase, but a dynamic hub featuring the most popular exchange directions, current rates, and possibly market news or category pages. Clear and logical hierarchy. Separate sections for cryptocurrency exchanges, fiat currency exchanges, transactions between different payment systems, and possibly analytical tools. Currency pair pages. Thousands of template-based yet unique pages for each specific pair, differentiated by meta tags and content. For example, exchanging Bitcoin-Bitcoin to private 24. It is essential to have automatic rate updates from partners. In such a competitive and specialized niche as finance and cryptocurrencies, content serves several key functions. It attracts traffic through informational queries, educates users, builds trust, and demonstrates the platform's expertise. We divided the content into two main types: commercial content and expert content. We found that the query, "What is an exchange monitoring service?" has good potential, but competitors cover it rather superficially. We prepared a comprehensive, detailed guide, which explained how such services work, their advantages and disadvantages, with examples and tips. The result we expect. Such a page will attract targeted traffic not only for the main keyword, but also for dozens of related low-frequency queries, the so-called long tail. For example, how does a rate aggregator work? Is it safe to use an exchange monitoring service? Who checks the exchangers? In total, potentially 30 or more relevant keywords leading to a single high-quality article. This is not just about traffic, but also about demonstrating expertise. Attracting reliable partner exchanges is a key success factor for an aggregator. To make this process effective, we developed a special promo landing page that served several purposes: transparent terms, a description of partner requirements and their benefits, a convenient onboarding process, integration with the CRM system, and a highlight of the landing page, an interactive banner or a small calculator for potential benefits. The exchanger could enter approximate data about their volumes or average transaction size, and the calculator would show an estimated additional income or the number of clients they could gain by being listed on Obmin.Finance. A simple but effective way to visualize the benefits. The result of our months-long work, even before the website went live, was, first of all, a technically prepared product, a website ready for search engine indexing with optimized speed, correct URL structure, configured multilingual support, and microdata markup. A solid foundation was laid for further growth and scaling. Secondly, a thoroughly developed semantic core of more than 28,000 clustered keywords, which provided the potential to cover search queries in the niche within the selected regions. This is a roadmap for further content and SEO development. And finally, the core content structure was formed. At the time of launch, more than 50 optimized blog articles were prepared. A detailed FAQ section was written. E-commercial and informational pages were created. The site did not launch empty. Analyzing the top 10 players, especially those without change, made it possible to identify their weaknesses and develop a strategy for how exchange finance could outperform them and capture its share of the market. The crucial first months, the first 3 months after launching a new website, are extremely important for its future in search engines. Google pays close attention to newcomers. Our work made it possible to avoid many common problems that hinder the development of many young projects and to start gaining visibility much faster. It wasn't just work, it was a true space odyssey, where the office turned into the starship's bridge, and Ajira became that very control center that kept us from getting completely lost in the open cosmos of tasks. Our SEO specialists are bearded geniuses who patched up holes with the power of thought and coffee. Our copywriters are linguistic wizards, crafting text spells understandable even to space pirates. The programmers are creators of such interfaces that even Steve Jobs would have asked for an autograph. Well, maybe. And our client is the brave captain. They set the course toward new stars of success. And even though the asteroid field of deadlines tried to turn our ship into scrap, Jira, like a loyal R2-D2, winked its lights at us. Stay calm, master. All systems go. We'll show this universe what we're really made of. Controlled launch of indexing. Final check of all items on our checklist before opening the site to search engine bots. Constant monitoring of rankings. Regular tracking of positions for key queries, especially the top 10 commercial keywords in all 7 target countries. Iterative content expansion, gradual addition of new articles to the blog, broadening of semantics, as well as preparation and launch of new language versions, particularly for the markets of Georgia and Armenia, where competition was lower. Analytics and adjustments, analysis of user behavior, effectiveness of different traffic channels, and continuous improvement of the site based on the data obtained. So we made it to the finish line, having navigated through this asteroid field of deadlines. This was not just a job, but a true immersion into the crypto ocean with a mission that went far beyond the usual scope of a CMO. We didn't just throw together some keywords. We built a system ready for scaling from day one. In the end, the finance exchange received a solid foundation. Not just to compete, but to truly fight for leadership in this challenging market. If this is the kind of approach you need, don't waste time thinking it over. Reach out to us. We know how to turn chaos into growth.